right, everybody. It is me, the King of Gabes, trying to become the King of Gabes, the King of Games in Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's redo that. Hold on. Give me a second. Ooh, whoa, so crazy. I'm a brand new person. I've never been here before. What's up, guys? I am the King of Gabes, trying to become the King of Games in Yu-Gi-Oh! And today, we have yet again another pack opening. I made a mistake yesterday while I was streaming. I didn't realize that the stream ended, and I kept recording, and I couldn't get the stream back up the moment that I realized it, which was devastating because I had so much more to share. I went over all the cards, sort of, kind of, but of course, when I realized the stream had gone down, I was broken on the inside. Genuinely broken on the inside. However, with that being said, I felt the need to give you guys a little bit more. And I was a little dissatisfied with the cards that we had gotten, so I decided that I wanted to give Blazing Dominion one more chance to help me craft a deck that I can be proud of. And as you can see here, I decided to change tactics a little bit, and I got us our basic boosters. Sorry, without shining that in your face so bright that you can no longer see in this night. All right, we got 4 of these bad boys that we're gonna open. Same deal as before. Each pack is going to have exactly 9 cards, one special card that we can hopefully hope for. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yesterday kind of broke my heart a little bit because I just kind of assumed, it's been a while since I bought cards like this, I kind of assumed that the wealth would have been spread out a little bit more evenly. We got a lot of these GMX cards in particular, which after reading this, I don't know how much of it actually made it on the stream. I kind of forgot to see where it ended. Sorry, that's my bad. But we got a lot of these bad boys, and they're actually pretty impressive if you know how to use them. Mind you, you kind of got to know how to use them. So it's an interesting deck that if we get more cards, which we're going to get more cards for because we have these, we're going to see what we can do. However, there's a bit more of a twist, is that when I bought these 4 packs, I realized in my heart they weren't enough. So I got a little greedy. I don't know if I want to say greedy. I guess I got a little generous, and I decided not only we're going to open those 4 packs, but we're going to open another one of these bad boy boxes. However, the plan was that I was going to open 2 of these bad boy that we were going to open 2 of these bad boy boxes, and I bought 2 boxes. However, there's a big problem with that. The second box that I bought, which I thought was this. Now, for the uninitiated, you're looking at this and you're like, you bought 2 boxes. They look exactly the same, right? Right? However, distinctly, this one is a lot heavier than this one. All right, this Yu-Gi-Oh! ASMR. This is a thicker brick, all right? Sorry, I keep looking at myself with the camera. I have to make sure I don't look ugly. Anyway, I bought these 2 because I thought they were both this. This has 4 packs. This has, and I quote, 24 packs. I was so excited to film this video again that I did not look at what I was buying and that the receipt was like $90. So I just spent over $100 today on Yu-Gi-Oh! For this opening, which justifies it being a second pack opening. And quite honestly, it's more than we did yesterday, I think. Let's see, 4 times 5 is 20. We did 5 of these bad boys, and now this is way more. And somehow it was cheaper, which makes you think about the things that we're doing and that we're spending money on. Anyway, the point is that we have a much bigger chance today to pull something that is worthwhile. Of course, if you're here yesterday, you kind of knew the shtick. And the shtick was this: we are going to pull out of all these packs and see if we can make a deck that we can take to a locals event. Hashtag, I don't know, regional. We'll see how far we can go and do something incredible with it, purely with the cards that we have, or depending on the kind of support that we get, attached to one of 5 decks that I've really, really wanted to play. And those 5 decks included, first and foremost, Cool Tunes. Look at my boy. Look at my boy. It's my boy Cup. Is it Cup? It's Clip. It's my boy Clip. All right? I know these cards are super duper toxic right now, but these are like one of those meta cards that before they became meta, before they became a big deal, I just thought they were pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to tune from your hand, or synchro summon from your hand. It's something I've always been into, and nobody was talking about it, so I thought I was allowed to like these cards. Turned out I was wrong. These are toxic. They're terrible, but if I'm going to play the game, I'm going to play to win the game. All right, so we're hoping that we can get some more Cool Tune support. I don't know how much there's actually going to be. I literally got no Cool Tune cards at all yesterday, which was honestly a little disheartening. Like, not even some of the lesser good cards. You think that they would give you a fighting chance. Freaking Cashtier Ogre was a common, I think. I don't know too much about the politics of it all, but I have a whole bunch of those. I have a whole bunch of tier element cash tiers. You'd think that cards that powerful would justify having a couple of these here or there. So I was a little disappointed. Honestly, this might make or break whether I do this again or not. We'll see. I've just been hearing so much about Blazing Dominion that I wanted to give it another chance. The second deck that I would hope to get some cards for is Dark Magician. All right, Dark Magician is my dude. I've been playing with this card in particular, not the specific card, but this specific variation of the card since I was a freaking child. And if there's any form of support that, you know, just a Dark Magician deck can use, I want to see if we can use it. All right, because I got a Dark Magician deck that isn't terrible. So I'd like to see what we can do with that. So these are 2 of the decks I want to do. The other 3 decks are, of course, the absolute wonderful, beautiful Charmers. Because apparently this set comes out with a bunch more Charmer support than I expected. If you know anything about the structure deck, you know that it is absolute dog doo-doo. It comes out with some really fun-looking cards, and of course it comes attached with the Horus cards, which I love, okay? I absolutely love the Horus cards. They are amazing. Chef's kiss, okay? Even though they're not perfect, and people can get around them, and you have to discard from your hand, I don't care. I use them all the time. They help me win. And I like that. I like the way they play. So, but Charmer support came out with some interesting cards. Interesting cards. You see, I pulled these 3 specifically multiple times. You know, what do we got? The quartet. The quartet. All right? The quartet of ladies or whatever. This is a very interesting card. And I think that it has a decent amount of potential, and I would like to see it. I think that these 2 cards right here give the deck a little bit more to do, which I also enjoy. But as per usual, when it comes to decks that don't have enough support as it is, or at least not good enough support, we'll see what we can pull from here. And then, of course, the last 2 decks that I really want to get support from is none other than the one and only Red Dragon Archfiend, okay? This is... So I have a history of the Red Dragon Archfiend, all right? This deck is amazing, all right? I don't think that it is obviously the top tier deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, but it is so much fun. It can compete to a degree, and I'm hoping to hopefully get support for this thing to make it more viable in the meta when I go and play a children's card game with other adults. Go figure. All right, so this is honestly the top dog. Like, to get this dragon, like the Crimson King, all right, I'm trying to become the king of games. I need to become the Crimson King of games, all right? And of course, the number 1 deck that I want to get support from, so just to recap, All right, we have Cool Tunes because I think they are cool despite being annoying AF. Cool Tunes, Dark Magician for some reason, Charmers because for some reason we're getting a bunch of support for that, Red Dragon Archfiend, and then my boy, the Chaos deck. All right, this is going to be my freaking like magnum opus of Yu-Gi-Oh is that I want a functioning chaos deck because all the chaos cards are either unplayable because they are so good that they get banned immediately, or they're so unplayable because they are so bad. Like, you just can't play them. Like, oh, well, all the cards in my hand need to banish from the graveyard. Whoops, can't get anything in the graveyard via the engine that created it to begin with without all these loop-de-loops and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I digress. All right, I don't want to complain too much. These are 5 decks I would really like to get support from in order to make it viable. And it has, like, some Doomsday stuff. And I think Doomsday could play well with like what I've got with the Chaos thing. I can talk more about that as per anybody's fascination in that sort of kind of thing. If you do, leave a comment down below. But yes, Cool Tune, Charmers, Dark Magician, Chaos, or Red Dragon Archfiend. That is what I want. There's also a decent amount of support for Elf Notes in this little thing. We have a bunch of GMX cards. We have a bunch of the clown cards. I don't have any of the clown cards right in front of me right now. I kind of went over a lot of cards that I thought were interesting yesterday. And I look forward to getting into some more. But I digress. We have a lot of card packs to open. 28 freaking card packs. Holy crap. It's crazy. I don't think... Oh, yeah. And then we got freaking miracle ejectors. So we've got some hero support, which I'm not really a fan of. You know, like I like heroes. I mean, freaking let's switch to the board already. Heroes. All right. I think specifically I like Jaden and I like Ubel. I like them together. I think that they're great. I never expected the Ubel freaking what do you call it? The deck for Ubel to be so toxic, and I don't love that. But I love the concept of Ubel, and the one fusion monster that can wipe out the entire field with a super poly is also not too bad. I had to find the thing. It was here last time, now it's here. Anyway, so what we're going to do is that we're going to go through all these packs. We are going to divide and conquer. I think what I'm going to do, what I did last time was that I kind of had 3 areas that I put cards. I put cards that I saw absolutely no future with. All right, that is this Mimigol. I care not. I care not for you. I care not for what you are. Wake Cup. All right, what the heck is this? I don't want this. This isn't a monster I want to play. You know. And maybe towards the end we can talk about it if any of you Yugi people who know what you're talking about come into the chat and you're like, no, that's actually a really good card. Maybe we'll go over it. I don't know. So aside from the 5 big decks that I am hoping... Sorry, I got to put my arm right in front of you. Aside from the 5 decks that I want support from, we've gotten a decent amount of support from the GMX, from the clowns themselves. All right. We didn't get that many cards. This is kind of the rest of them. Oh, yeah. So we've got a bunch of interesting cards that I went over, but I don't think was actually went over via the last video. So I think we might go over these bandwidth of cards right here. But there's a whole bunch of different like archetypes that we were getting. So we were working with a lot of stuff. This is all GMX, like all of it. Mind you, it's some cards from another pack that I pulled with them all. So it's cheating, give or take, depending on the way that you look at things. Is what it is. Point is, let me see. Let me get my most notorious clown card. We'll go over these cards again. The biggest thing about the GMX is that they do a lot of, what do you call it? They do a lot of like excavating the deck. They have a bunch of fusion monsters that are connected to dinosaurs, even if they're not entirely dinosaurs themselves. A lot of them are warriors or beasts or beast warriors. You know, they got a lot of variety, which I think is pretty sick. I did not think I'd be into this. I'm not a big dinosaur fan. But if we just can't stop getting support, then, you know, this is where the heart of the cards are going to lead us. Matter of fact, let me just take us back to the whole point of this video real quick, all right? Listen, I believe in God. I believe in the Judo Christian Father that art in heaven, and I'm believing that he is guiding me via the heart of the cards. Not a tarot thing. Believe what you will. Not for me, but I'm believing he is leading us to the rogue winning strategy that's going to get us to win. Now, I still want it to be cool tunes. I still want my Crimson King, boy. I guess that hand trap that everybody's going on about would be pretty sick too. The dragon one where you like show off 5 synchros. The Dominus and the Solemn would also be great. So I've got a wish list of cards that I want. I would say those are like the top cards that I want is the Crimson King. Pretty much anything assault mode Red Dragon Archfiend support. And honestly, either way, that'll support Chaos decks most of the time because my boy is a level 8 Dark Dragon. Go figure. It's going to do some damage for you. But the clowns are also pretty interesting. I think this is the shiniest clown card that I have. Elf notes would be great. Any elf note will be welcome, but I am ready to get surprised. I have digressed long enough. Let's get into it. Let's pull some cards and see if we can make us a killer deck. And then we're going to discuss the cards and go from there. Anyway, so I'm going to put the cards that I have away for the time being. All right, they're great. Chef's kiss, love ya. Oh, I moved the microphone. That's evil. 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 There you go. I gotta go to my laboratory. I guess also I can remove some of these cards, make the field look a little bit more appetizing to the eyeballs. All right, let's just get rid of there. This is my Charmer deck, which is full of a bunch of cards I don't want to play, and then a handful of cards that would be lovely to play. Here's my makeshift Red Dragon Archfiend deck. I actually should buy more of the structures. I only got one, so clearly I should get more. But here's what I think we're going to do, because I want to save the big boy for last. I think I'm going to open this buddy up right now. I'm going to open it. Let me just... enjoy it with me. Enjoy it with me. Let's see. This is going to be our final token because I do not perceive myself buying another one of these unless the stream goes well and you guys like my content. And the last token that we received, will it be a double? Is it one that we've seen before? It is one that we have seen before, but it is the Predaplant guy, and I forgot we actually got a decent amount of Predaplant support through this. I'm not terribly upset about that. Predaplant is pretty interesting. I have genuinely never played the deck. Only the monsters, but I shall put that right there. We will recycle. Yes, recycling. And we got our guys. Boom. Laid that out. Laid that out right there. And then, you know, we'll keep this here to look pretty. So we'll just go back and forth. One from this. Is this a bad idea? It's probably better. Oh, wow. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's very shiny, so we'll start with the very shiny one. All right. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of that. Any card that is not interesting, I'm going to put right here. Any card that is interesting and I'd like to go over, I'm going to put here. Any card that we're undoubtedly going to use is going to go here. And any cards that support any of these decks is going to go right there. All right. So I guess, yeah, let's get some of the old sport out of the way. Maybe what I'll do is, because I got good old Elf Note Regina. Regina, what's up, girl? It's got a really cool effect. I'm going to put this right here as a third option because Elf Note's pretty cool. I also got this latte, but and then these other ones. So I'm gonna be a little greedy. I'm gonna put them right here. All right. This is just the genuine stuff that you guys are getting because this is the live stream. I promise you. If I make a shorter version of this, it will not be as convoluted. But yes, I digress. Cards I'm definitely going to use and will indefinitely go over. Cards that are fairly interesting, I will put here, and cards that I do not care about will go here. 3, 2, 1. Let us go. Pack openings. Huh. Hi, alright. Team Sam has ruined me, and now I freaking need some of those microplastics. Delicious. Alright, we got that guy. Already getting doubles. Okay, so, just to keep things organized, I'm going to keep Fiend Boy right here. We already talked about him a little bit. And we got some Art Mage, which is pretty great. So we're going to put that right here with the Elf Notes. Fairy Tale. I don't think we went over any of the Fairy Tales. So I'm going to put it right here. And then there's this guy. Oh, this is a new card. So we'll learn about that. Oh, and then we have Genia of the Ring. If this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster in the field, special summon this card. Also, that target becomes a spellcaster monster. The next time that target would be destroyed by card effect, it is not destroyed. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for spellcaster monsters. If this card is tributed or banished to activate a spellcaster monster's effect, you can add this card to the hand. Okay, interesting. Maybe, honestly, I should consider... Okay, because Elf Notes are spellcasters. Art Mages got a lot of spellcasters, I think. Charmers are spellcasters. I wonder how much that's going to, like, influx with the Dark Magician. I think this is going to be the first thing. I don't know how it works. And honestly, a lot of... Dark Magician cards don't do a lot of damage themselves. You know, none of the main monsters or anything. I don't know. This is definitely probably Charmer support. And I'm going to put it there. As for this, these are a bunch of extra cards that I already have. However, I don't think I went over all of them. So the cards that I'm pretty sure I did not go over, I'm going to put right here. And we'll put our doubles off to the side. Just realized I had some Magnet Warrior support here because I really want to use the machine monsters for Magnum support. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I guess I'll just put my doubles right there. There you go. All right. Anyway, this is the first time I'm opening one of these packs. So, I'm very interested to see what happens. All right, of course. Look at that. There are babies. Wait, I think I got this one. I didn't get this guy, but I think I got this one. Maybe that means we actually got a good card. Oh, wait. I see it right here. Interesting. Hey, we got one. 2 level 3 monsters. Tribute summoned monsters you control gain 1,000 attack. If this card is tributed, you can activate one of these effects. But you can only use each effect once per turn. Return all Xyz monsters from the field and the graveyards to the extra deck. Set 1 Clown Crew spell. This might be interesting because my Chaos deck, actually, boy right here, uses a decent amount of Xyz monsters. It's probably primarily Synchro, but that's interesting. I know it's not exactly what we're talking about, but it is cool that one of the cards I got, at least, is on the main art. My head's in the game, but my heart's in your ass. Sorry. And it feels so real. Look at that. They look the same. But I'm not here to digress. Also, recycling. Very important. Right. Here we go. Some of that fresh pack. Some of that fresh pack. Hey, yeah. Let's see. Oink. Zoinks. All right. Fairy Tale Ball. Pretty Plant. Fairy Tale Wick. Wake Up Kuro. Engraph Reset. King's Resonance. This guy. This one. And all of these cards I've gotten at least once. And then we've got the big boy. This is the second one we've gotten. So, who knows? Maybe we got a pendulum strategy going on after all. I'm going to put the cards that I'm pretty sure I did not go over here that I found mildly interesting. Again, none of these cards have really been like, yes, I'm going to use that card. Except maybe this guy, which I did not go over, and I look forward to getting over. Then I didn't go over this either. I'm going to organize the cards once we get there, but we're not there yet. So, I guess I'll just put doubles and uninteresting cards just kind of to the side here. We'll see. Anyway, so, I digress. You probably need me to go a little bit faster. I'm supposed to be the master of the faster. Right now, I'm not any of those. Summon Shock. That was a fun card. Clown Crew Diablo. Some more Doomsy of the same card. Dark One. Jet to King's Resonance. More Mimic Ghost stuff. This is a fun card. I cannot wait to figure out what we're going to do with this card. And then another card that we didn't go over that I really wanted to. And then another Evolved Deneen. Alright, this monster is some more that GMX support. Maybe I should have done this from the start. But I'll just put archetypes that were getting a lot of cards there. Interesting cards. I think I went over this. I did go over this. I'm pretty sure I did go over this, so we'll put that there. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Then we'll put our Clown Crew boy right here. We'll just try to keep it all organized. Although now it's kind of looking like a mess. Whatever shall we do? That's fine. Alright, we went over Doom Z. I did not go over this card. I want to. And then, you know, let's put this as an interesting card that I definitely want to go over. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Alright. I digress. I guess we're looking for the biggies at this point. Let me get a sip for good luck. Dear Lord, may we find the cards that will lead us to victory. Oh no, I can't ruin the camera. I worked so hard trying to make that work. Alright, let's see. Special pack, God pack, God pack. Alright, cards. We've seen, I'm just gonna keep this here. We got our Lil Izzard, Northern Crossfire, Flash. It's the whale. And we have our third Miracle Ejector. It's official. We have to do something hero related now. It's just we don't have a choice. Matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do, all the cards that we're just not going to go over or I found so distinctly uninteresting will go here. And I guess heroes will go here. All right, then we have machines. I did not go over machines, so I'll keep machines there. Junk Signal is a pretty simple card. You can either special summon a monster, and when an opponent activates an effect in response to your Synchro Monster's effect, negate the effect. Beautiful cards. Beautiful cards. All right, so Hero Flash, we're going to see what you're all about. The Whale seems like a very interesting card. I didn't go over Northern Crossfire, and I still got to look over Little Lizard there. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. Come on. Give us something that we can go right home about. I don't want to be so sad all the time. Ooh, I'm breaking free, soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can reach. Ooh, more Clown Crew support. Yeah. I never went. Oh god. I never went over these cards. They're interesting. I want to know what they're about. Predaplant Lizard. All right, a lot of doubles. All of them are doubles. Ooh, this one's new. All right, this is like we're getting some fairy tale monsters, which I suppose supports the Charmers. Because now that I remember it, the Charmer had some fairy tales in his structure deck. So, Fairy tale support. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff anymore. I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. Guess I'll put archetype pieces in here then, and I'll put interesting cards in here then. So let me just, yeah, we don't need to create a mess right off bat. There we go. Thank you for your patience while I figure out what the F I want to do with my life. All right. And then more doubles. Double the trouble. Okay. I guess we should speed on through, huh? Let's friggin' go. Do. Heck of Hands, Fairy Tale, Assault Sonic Warrior, Clown Crew Fiends, Rustic Mama, 50-50. And we have the Clown Crew Bianca Viso. Alright. Now this is a card. This is a card. Maybe this card just made us have to play the clowns now. We're clowning. Alright? It's clown time. It's clown time. About to wear some Joker makeup and go to these freaking locals. We'll see. Right now it's between the clowns and the dinosaurs. Really does seem like some DC Cinematic Universe stuff. Alright. Ooh, it's our boy. It's our boy. I do believe I went over this. I'm pretty sure it made it on stream. But we now have as many as we can have. So we'll put... Oh, God. All right. I just spoiled it for myself. Okay. I keep spoiling it for myself. My hands are just thick. My hands are thick. And I missed. I missed it. I missed it. But Doom Z XC's monster. This is our first monster for Doom Z, which I'm very, very excited for. So put that right there. I guess we'll put that there. We'll put that there. We've gone over these. Or we already have them. So boom. All right, and for the final card, before we move on to the big one. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the back. To the back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, getting so many doubles. It breaks my heart. It genuinely breaks my heart. All right, I think this card's newer. Actually, I do have this card, but we'll go over it because now Clown Crew is something to talk about. Ooh, we got a synchro. We got a synchro. Cool tune support officially. We made it, boys and girls. We are officially on the map, and it's our boy Clip. Our boy Clip has to be a part of this. You see, I kind of like it when certain cards, you know, require specific cards to go attached to them. Because generic material is great, all right? And I think that having generic cards are great, especially since with my Chaos deck over here, it relies on so many different engines that are supposed to coincide with each other, which is what I like. Those are my favorite decks to play, the ones that need a little extra something to it. Also, my laptop needs charging. Can you believe that? Ooh, wait. Hold on. Does my phone need to be plugged in? Ooh, we can charge. We can charge our laptop. I'll love it when a plan comes together, even if I wasn't planning on it coming together quite that way. Look at that. How long is it going to take you to charge? I'm just curious. Give me a number. Battery is not charging. Shucks. All right. It's time for us to get surgical, boys. The stream is not ending on me because my laptop died. We are figuring this shiza out now. Don't hate me for getting German. Alright, I'm German. It doesn't mean it's weird. Sorry, was sprechen Sie Deutsch, these nuts. Alright, cool. Sorry if you're German, and I hope it's not offensive. I'm really trying not to be offensive, but at the same time, I'm just a Yugi tuber right now. Battery is not charging. Feels like a lie. That's a lie. Our boy's charging. We're going to check on that in about a minute or so. Anyway, I am so excited to crackle into what this card does. But anyway, we got our cool tune support, which is great. We got a couple other things. I never went over the Archfiend thing. So I think what I'm going to do, actually, is that I will put all these cards to the side, and then we'll go over the cards that we didn't go over yesterday. Boom, bam, bum. But we have officially gone through the box and the other cards. Now it's time for the guy that I never planned on having here. 24 packs. I put money into this thing, people. Like, that wasn't the plan. I needed that money. I needed that money. So, what we're going to do is that we are just going to fly through it. All right? If it's interesting, it's interesting. If it stops us, it stops us. We're not going to get caught up in squabbles of just things. We are moving forward in this place today, whether we like it or not. So, everybody, put on your deal discs. Say nice things to your mother, because Mother's Day is around the corner. Get ready for some premium content, hopefully. That's my hope, is that it's pretty premium. All right. It's time to blaze on through this Dominion. And to make sure. All right. Battery is fine. I think it's just maintaining a good 8%. These cards feel different. They feel different. I bought a fake pack. It's all fake. All right. So far, Crimson Call. Oh, yeah. It's all the same cards. Heck of Hands. Miguel. Subsequently, but the battle. How about the Die Broker? Possess Destiny. Ooh, and we have more Doom card. Oh wait, this isn't Doom Z. I already have this card. I've seen this card. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, that is a shame. Well, that's okay. Put it to the side. We're racing through. All right. Recycle. Yeah, fine, we'll do it this way. It seems like we're going through a lot of these commons, and to be honest with you, it's breaking my heart to see so many of the same cards that are not going to be utilized quite the same way that they could have been. But that's okay. All right. You know what? What if? What if I just had an interesting idea? Most of these seem to be cards. Oh, okay. We are charging for anybody who's still concerned about that. We're charging. I think I want to do something interesting. All right, we're going to speed up this stream a whole lot. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be kind of crazy, not going to lie. Oof. All right. I'm not keeping you guys here forever. I'm not going to keep you guys here forever. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to open every single one of these packs, and I'm going to divide all the commons from the special card that's inside. And hopefully I can count well enough not to miss it. Okay, hopefully this isn't a terrible idea. Somehow I feel like I am probably going to regret this. We're going to see. We're going to see. All right, but we are wiping the table, clearing. All right, archetype, individual. All right, all right. This might be a terrible idea. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm here to save time. Clearly, I'm not here to save money because I spent a whole lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Don't bend the cards. They could be powerful. All right. Because listen, I don't want you guys to have to go through all of these basic as cards. I mean, unless they're like really good. Honestly, I'm really hating the fact, like, even if you got to put cards that have nothing to do with this pack in there, just so we at least get a wider diversity of cards. You know, I just think that that would be such a spectacular thing. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and you know, who knows what we're gonna pull from this. All right, part of me is kind of, I don't know if I love the way that we're doing this right now, but I think that it's efficient. It's gonna save you and me some time. But until then, while I'm doing some good hard earned work right here, I have a dream to make a deck that is so good that no one would have ever seen coming. An absolutely viable and functional option for Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, that didn't make any sense. I think the best way I want to say is I don't want to make a deck that is so unique to me, no one would have ever seen it coming. I found the crack in the whole of whatever the meta was, destroyed the entire meta, and not just because I learned the meta and then made a whole deck that was the antithesis of the meta, but that I made my own deck with my own cards the way I wanted to, played the way I wanted to, and won. That is like my dream as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, is that I want to make, you know, just an experience. I want to do something awesome. Like the stories that I love so much that I hear from like actual competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is like that one dude who went to a tournament with just a basic Fire King deck and wiped the floor with them on it, you know? Like he wasn't using just this like generic strategy that everybody else uses and all that kind of stuff, which is why I feel weird whenever I like, you know, decks like Cool Tune, when, you know, they're totally the meta deck and everything, and people are using it to torment these godless children of their mothers and fathers or whatever. You know, people use these cards that are really cool sometimes to just make somebody's day really terrible. Which, of course, the quality of your day, ladies and gentlemen, is based on you. And one of my hopes is that people will understand that having fun and being a cool person is more about who you are than how your day played out, than how people treated you. You know, it's like, have some honor in defeat if you're going to lose. And freaking remember that we're playing a children's card game and we're here to have fun. And that's the only reason why I'm upset that I'm not getting certain cards. I'm not trying to make a buck off of these things. I just put literally like $200 into all of this, you know? I work a 9 to 5, even if it is an 11 to 7 sometimes, or a 6 to 2, or, you know, a freaking your mom to your dad, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, like, what I want to do is that I just want to have fun with the game, and I want to do things that are fun, and I want to surprise people with something that they didn't see coming. So whether it's the dude who did the Fire King thing, whether it's the freaking dad that came in with an Exodia deck, wiped the floor with it, you know, that's the kind of vibe that I want to have. Also, you have to think about how awesome it is that, like I feel like some tactics are a little cheap, you know? Like the whole Dark Ruler Rogue deck thing, where it's like, I know MBT talked about this in a short one time, and I agreed with him 100%. It was like, oh, you're being edgy and cool. If you were so good, you would have left me a hand, kind of thing, because of that one card from Dark Ruler. Is it Dark Ruler or Dark Lords? I think it's the Dark Lords. I think it's the Dark Lords. I think I'm gaslighting myself. But anyway, you know, that, like, if you're going to use some kind of rogue strategy, you know, I don't know, just don't be a freaking jerk. If you're playing the game and you're using a strategy, you know what you're doing, you know? Ideally, especially if you're going to, like, the games, these shops and all this kind of stuff. You know what you're doing, you know? have a little bit of character. Anyway, so my dream is to create a deck that no one sees coming, or that probably shouldn't have worked but turned out to work. That's my dream. And with that being said, we are on our last pack that we have opened so that we could kind of speed through this a little bit more. And as a celebratory, let's see what our first special card is. Super duper polymerization. Okay, this is awesome. I really wanted this card. All right, I didn't say it because I forgot about it, but it's super duper. It's super duper polymerization. Pay 2,000 life points and target one effect monster on the field. Special summon one monster from your extra deck with the same type and attribute, but a different level, but negate its effects. Then apply one of the effects. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Fusion summon one monster from your extra deck using the special summon monster and the targeted monster. Ooh. Send the special summon monster to the graveyard. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if you know what I mean. I think there's versatility here. But as it is the first of many special cards that we're going to pick up, I'm going to keep right here. We are going to go through this stack first because what I want to do is that I want to shred any of the interesting cards that I think that we can get from it, and then I'll put, like, I don't know, I guess archetypal ones here. So I don't know how I'm going to divvy it up. We're just going to do it as we go. But let's just start with, like, a freaking stack already. All right. Let's go. All right. Convex Knight. Clown Crew. Gamer Crew. Yeah. Let's see. I guess we're just going to go until I find cards that, like, we haven't seen before. So I'm going to put these in the back here. Do. Haven't seen that. All right. Let's see. Clown Crew. I know I'm, like, overwhelming myself right now. Art Mage. It's crazy how many of these cards. It's like, are there 20 cards in the whole set? Dear freaking God. Konami, you're losing me, bro. You're losing me, bro. This is absolutely insane. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, and I'm really trying not to be. But out of all of that, out of all those cards, there's 3 cards that I have not seen before and that I'm interested in. And I've probably seen them before. Matter of fact, I've seen this before, and I'm putting it back. And Konami. What is this? Diversify it a little bit more with the commons and all that kind of stuff. Or give us better commons. Anyway, I digress. I'm not here to be a sourpuss. Just going through, seeing if we can find something special. Dude, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This is coming from the experience of somebody who doesn't play this in a very competitive way, very religiously, or anything like that. Honestly, let's just freaking Fairy Tale Ball. Okay, interesting. Oh, this is maddening. Ugh. Emergency reset. There's no new cards. There's no new cards. Is there, like... Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I am so sorry to subject you to this. You deserve better. Alright? I just kind of thought that I would deserve better after throwing $70 into this one thing alone. I checked the receipt. I think I kind of got a deal, though. I think it's usually more than that. Alright, well, that's crazy. That's legitimately, like... Konami. Also, gaming community. I apologize for my attitude. This is sickening to me. I don't like being a Debbie Downer by any means. I want to be a positive guy. All of these cards, so many of them, and only 3 of them are ones that I've probably seen before, but look new to me. That's not good. All right. These special cards better be fan freaking tastic, or Konami, I swear I'm coming for you. I will destroy you. Whatever sick, thieving, money-hungry, gambling people are taking you over, we're going to figure this out, because, like, there's just way too many. And if anybody on here who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Regularly is going to give me a hard time for that, this is why there's no new players. Because there's not enough creativity in these cards. Alright? It's all literally the same shiza, and then we're going to pay freaking $300 for one of these. So these better be great. Okay? I mean, super duper polymerization. Let's be real. I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I don't even know if it's really that good because it's not a quick play. And you would think that it would be because Super Poly is. But, you know, we're going to see. First, I need a sip of the Cup of Life because, oh my gosh, I'm a little dry. I'm a dry boy. I digress. But I guess we made a good decision speeding this up, wouldn't you say? All right, I digress. Let's get back into it. All right, so Super Duper Polymerization is a card that I genuinely find interesting, and I want to discuss how we're going to play this card. I'm going to put this in here. I guess, what are these? All right, I guess these are cards that I want to go over at some point. But yeah, so we got Super Duper. We got Super Duper, the Super Trooper. I don't know if I'm ready for this. All right, let's go. All right. Ooh. Okay. All right. You see, this is the kind of card that I should have pulled from all those other ones. I didn't know we had Snake Eyes support here, guys. All right. I am interested because I actually really like the way that Snake Eyes plays. Okay, so we have Flame Tongue of the Burning Blade, another Genio Ring, another Final Experiment, another Beyond, another Crown, ooh, Breach Boral Dragon. Interesting. We got another Crackle. We shall crack on. This one's new. GMX the Fifth Experiment. Another Fairy Tale. Another Armored Knight. I think this is new. No, I've gotten this. All right, we've got Magical. Okay. All right, we got one of the ones that we wanted. Solomon Accusation. All right, we're going to put this in Special God tier. This looks really cool. I just don't know what it is. But we're going to find that out. Ooh. All right, they're coming through with the cool tunes. But the fact that they're all the special rare is bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but it's true. GMX Lab. We're getting some real Look at that. Look at that card. 4 tuners. Son of a... We're going to go over it. We're going to go over it. My hand's getting really small. My hand's getting really small. We got another Charmer in the Bloom. Fairy Tale. And this is our last card. Dark Resonator. Which we went over. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand something. I want to be the most positive person in the world right now. My frustration lies in the fact that out of all of these cards, I did get one that I was looking for. I'm not going to lie. And what are we entitled to? One box is going to give us the exact cards that we want. I didn't get Crimson King, but I do have Hypernova Dragon, which is support. We did get some cool tunes. All right, and it looks like we're doing some stuff with the Clown Crew, Bianca. All right, now it's time for us to talk about what these cards actually do and how we can make them work somehow, as well as some of these cards Although some of them are like archetypal. So I think what I'm going to do is, if it's an archetype, we are going to put them with their types. Here, Flash. There you go. Clown Crew, Clown Crew, Clown Crew. Geomex, Clown Crew. Fairy Tales. Lizards. Pengies. Pretas. Yeah. Yeah. And again, like, I guess generic? I think this is generic. I guess it's more machine. So put machine right there. Although, maybe we'll just keep it with Doomsy. Then we got more Hecka Hands. More Hecka Hands. Tails. Oh, see? I did get it before. Oh. No, I didn't. Anyway. So, yeah. I guess we'll put these in this will be a generic pile. There we go. And machines. I just had a place for machines. Who am I? What am I do? Oh, ha, right. An Endcraft with pendulums. Let's see. I don't think we need to go over the hero stuff. It's not really going to do us a whole lot of good. Machines, maybe. I feel like we've got a decent amount of kind of magician support or spellcaster support. We'll see what we can do with the Predaplants. I'll keep the machines on the side then. I guess Ejector is about to get ejected for the time being. I want to see what the clowns are about. Hecka Hands, Pendulum. I feel like some of these are like the archetypal ones that we'll go over. However, I feel like Clown Crew got a decent amount of support, so as well as GMX. So we're gonna dive into that too. Sorry, I'm gonna have to learn the cards a bit. All right. All right, and then Solemn. These guys. Go here. This is Rando. Clown. Super duper. We'll just put the dragons and the fires by each other. More fairy tale. We'll put that with the Chamas. And then we got some GMX. And then we got some more miracle ejectors. And then we got the clowns. And then we got more. Should have. There's a better way to organize this stuff. Huh? Yeah. And then we got the Geneva. We can put Geneva over here. Geneva. Oh, Geneva. GMX. Weaver. Ooh, my roommate's at home. That's so exciting. I can't wait to tell them about my day. Alright. Clowns. Shoot. Where'd I put it? Where did I put it? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Come on, Cotton Eye Joe. Alright. Okay. Alright. I think we have our heading. I'm going to go over this. I'm going to go over this, and then this. We're going to go from there, and then we're going to see if they range in any of these decks. Chaos / Doom. Doom. Then we got our boy Red Dragon Archfiend. Then we've got our Charmers. Chamels. I'm going to be honest with you. Dark Magician probably should not continue with us. I'm pretty sure there is absolutely nothing Dark Magician can just take from this. So I'm sorry, buddy. You just got booted out. I think what we're gonna do then is that we're gonna put Cool Tune, which I'll take Crackle real quick. Although is Crackle here again? Crackle is here, so we'll just put this here, and then we're gonna put kind of like an etc. option of like interesting. We'll see what it works. Maybe Clown Crew will come here. Who knows? I don't know. And then we'll kind of divvy it up from there. But first and foremost, we wanted some Cool Tune support, so let's see what we've got. We've got Cool Tune Crackle, which requires Cool Tune Clip plus, any number of tuners, just at least one. If this card is synchro summoned, you look at your opponent's extra deck, and if you do, banish one face up one card from it until the end phase. Then you can make this card gain attack equal to that monster's attack. If this synchro summoned card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card. Then you can apply this effect. Look at your opponent's extra deck and banish 2 cards from it until the end phase. Okay, so Crackle is trying to freaking crack it up. That's taken 3 cards from your opponent's deck. 1 on synchro summon, and then once it is special summoned back from the graveyard. So essentially, in order to fight Cool Tune, stopping the cards on the field are one thing. Stopping the cards in the graveyard is another thing. I think there's a... Oh no! I'm shaking the world. I think that there's a card. It's like Skill Drain, but for the graveyard. Abyss Dweller, probably. Abyss Dweller is a pretty good option. Maybe we're going to have to use Abyss Dweller in this format. I'm pretty sure I've got one. Anyway, so I digress. And then this one, I've seen this one. This is like the art for a lot of stuff. Cool Tune B2B. 1 tuner plus 1 synchro monster. The levels of monsters your opponent controls are increased by 2. Okay, so this messes with people's plays if they're XE summoning or if they are synchro summoning specifically. And then other rare cases. Your tuners can make a second attack during each battle phase. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target 1 tuner in your graveyard or banishment, except a level 10 tuner, add it to your hand or special summon it, and then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon 1 synchro monster using... Oh, okay, interesting. So I guess my question with Cool Tunes is how splashable is it? Is this a deck that we can use with other decks? I think that's going to be the big thing for me because playing pure Cool Tune just isn't a question right now. I don't have the cards for that. I don't know if I could afford the rest of the cards, and Lord knows I'm not going to break the bank for it. But I think I find that interesting. I think if it's splashable, that would be kind of a cool thing. A cool thing to do. A cool thing to tune. I wonder if that would work with like Red Dragon Archfiend in the slightest. I mean, obviously you'd have to like risk normal summons and all this. I'm just gonna have to like use 3 copies of double summon in order for this format to work out. All right, let's look at a couple of these other randos. You see, this is the kind of card that I was hoping we would get from like the common section, because it's like, what is this card? What does it do? 2 fire monsters, face-up spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can target 1 of your banished fire monsters added to your hand, but you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with its same name for the rest of the turn. Okay, so this card gets us back Ash, maybe, plus gives us destruction immunity as well as a generic Link 2. Not terrible. I just can't think of anything I'd use it for as of yet. Maybe it can support Red Dragon. We're going to find out. I'm going to put this as like a maybe. Yeah. As like a maybe option. Although maybe somewhere in between, because again, my Chaos deck can do a lot of things, and fire monsters can probably belong there. And maybe we can put Snake Eyes. We'll see. All right. Anyway, our big boy, our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12-star monster. I heard that this was a little underwhelming online, but let's find out for ourselves. 4 tuners, 1 non-tuner synchro monster, but as we've seen with the darkness resonator, that's not really a problem once we, get all the material together. Must first be special synchro summoned with the above materials, gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. Your opponent cannot target this card with effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. Once per turn. Quick effect, you can banish this card. Also banish as many cards in your opponent's field and graveyard as possible. Then you can special summon 1 red Dragon Nova from your extra deck, and this is treated as a synchro summon. Okay, so I don't think that's that bad. Huh. Ha ha ha. And it's not a hard once per turn. So for whatever reason you are just synchro happy, you can keep doing this kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe this guy can help us out. Maybe not. I mean, maybe. Maybe not with this, but... Anyway, I digress. Very nice card. I can see how the synergy could definitely work with all the other stuff. Darkness Resonator, of course, can special summon itself and turn all the tuners that you have to level 1, or as many as you want. So put that there. This is interesting because I didn't expect this. Again, this is the kind of card that we should have gotten in the comment section. Holy crap. Konami, I'm burdened by my pain right now. But 2 dark dragon monsters, including a rocket monster, which isn't impossible, especially with the new support that recently came out. If this card is link summoned, you can add 1 Borrelel spell trap from your deck to the hand. Quick effect, you can target 1 dark monster you control. It gains 500 attack. Or if it is no longer on the field... Wait, interesting. Quick effect, you can target 1 dark monster you control. It gains 500 attack. Or if it is no longer on the field, you can special summon 1 rocket monster from your deck in defense position instead. I'm a little confused. So maybe there's a way... Okay. I'm assuming that this is like a Borrel. This is like a Borrel thing. So I'm assuming it's kind of like if you target it, but it destroys itself, which I know that some of the Borrel things can do. That's interesting. I will say, out of all of this, it is somewhere between Chaos and Red Dragon support. I do think it would be an interesting thing. I wonder how well Borrelel, whatever you want to call it, I wonder how well Borrelel would work with Red Dragon, which I'd never really considered before. Because it's a dark dragon. And I don't think most of the Red Dragon cards don't like specifically need resonators. I'm just curious. I'm really curious. It's interesting. Now this is one of the 3 or 4 cards that I definitely super duper wanted. You can activate this card the turn it was set by revealing 1 other face down trap you control. When a spell or trap is activated, you can activate 1 of these effects. Pay 1,500 life points to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And if you do that, neither player can activate cards or effects of cards with the same original name as the destroyed card for the rest of this turn. It's interesting because I feel like this could be good against that effect specifically. Could be really good against, what are they called? I know what they're called. The Sky Strikers. There you go. Or any cards that have just like things you could do. Anyway. Pay 3,000 life points, second effect. Negate the activation, and if you do banish it, then your opponent banishes all cards from their hand and deck with the same original name as that banished card. Alright. So, the biggest limitation that I see in this card is that it specifies spell or trap. If it was a monster effect, I would definitely see this. I mean, I'm looking at my, like, Miracle Ejector card over there, and I'm like, boy, oh boy, would I love to banish that card and all of them from the deck. Or, you know, everybody's Stratos, or everybody's, you know, freaking Starter, whatever that could be. So I'm trying to think about what cards would be affected the most by this. I mean, Hero definitely has cards that, like, oh no, I needed that spell again and again. Like, imagine getting rid of Polymerization. Not that there isn't other Polymerization cards in a hero deck, not that I want to like specifically target hero players, but you know, that's one that I can think about right now. Obviously that would work well with Sky Striker. Let me see. It's either you negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it, and neither player can activate cards or the effects of cards with the same original name for the rest of this turn. Or you pay an extra 1,500, 3,000 total to negate it, banish it, and then your opponent banishes the rest from their deck. And I feel like a lot of spells and traps aren't easy to recover from banishment. I mean, it's not impossible, but you know what? Let me do some research. And do a little bit of research. Let's get a little meta real quick. Let's see. What cards are in Chaos Rising? Ooh. I don't want to think about Chaos Rising right now because I'm kind of hurt. In most danger with Chaos Rising. Solemn Accusation. From Blazing Dominion, Key, Searcher, and Starter. Okay, Branded Fusion, Diabelle's Chimera Fusion. Well, that would be terrible. Evenly Matched, Lightning Storm. Okay, Pendulums. Ooh, boy. It works against pendulums and field spells too. Wish I had this whenever that one field spell from freaking Ryziel. Yeah, that kicked the crap out of me. Took me a while to like understand how it was used. Okay, so Brand of Fusion. So there's definitely cards that this card can be a threat for. Love that. How much is this card worth? Let's see. Doing a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, it's a $28 card. That's cool. I think it is. Oh, value went down dramatically. Oh yeah, Dominus Spark. That's the one I wanted. And then Further Harmonia rightfully went down in price because people were like, it's not that serious. Come on. Come on. Come on. Alright, so I will not be 3-ofing this because I'm not spending another $100 just to have a full set of cards that, you know, we're gonna get a much cheaper set with. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so Solemn Accusation has landed itself comfortably in my side deck for now, as well as Super Duper Polymerization, because we'll kind of need to see how this one works a little bit better. All right, now to race through these a little bit more. Convex Knight. If a machine monster is on the field, this card's in your hand, you can special summon this card defense position. Then you make this card's level become that level and rank of that of the level or rank of one machine monster on the field. During your main phase, you can send one Earth machine monster from the deck to the graveyard. Then, until the end of this card gains the attack equal to the level that monster is sent to the graveyard. So this is a really good utility card. It special summons itself. It gets its level or rank to match that of another one's. And then it can even send something to the graveyard. So from right now, I don't see... I mean, I feel like my Chaos deck might actually be able to run this. I'm just trying to think of some type of machine support that I use that would benefit from this. Matter of fact, I got it right here. Why am I waiting? Why are you waiting? All right, let's see. Machine. Give me one machine. One machine in my deck. As long as it's light or dark, it belongs. Oh, there is one card I... Oh, wait. Ayo. Alright, Flame Tongue, the Burning Blade, might actually help with a card that I use. That's exciting. Just need a machine. Okay, so far I got Electromagnetic Turtle. Which is cool. Love having graveyard options, although, depending on this format, the graveyard's going to be difficult. Okay, we do have Jet Synchron. Okay. And it does not appear that we have any machine extra deck monsters that we could repurpose or reutilize, which is a shame. Big shame. But I would say, and it doesn't negate the effects of whatever you put in the graveyard, it's just the only problem is that you would need a machine. But it's not impossible. Therefore, it comfortably belongs as Chaos support. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Oh, and then Heavy Armored Knight Babaladekra. You can normal summon this without attributing. Very nice. You can only use this effect of the following to do once per turn. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can special summon one Earth machine monster from your hand during the main phase. If your opponent activated effect this turn, you can special summon one rank 410 machine Xyz monster from your deck using this card you control as material. Okay, so love this actually. The only thing I don't like is that it's Earth. Like if this was dark, I could probably use it a little bit better in my Chaos deck, but I think I will add it as support based on the fact that, like, despite all of these things, there are no drawbacks. There is no drawback to normal summoning this without attributing, and it gives you, like, other things to do. So if there is a way to turn my potential Chaos machine deck over here into something wonderful, we can make it happen. All right, and then we got, I did not realize this was a zombie card. If this card is in your hand, discard one other card, special summon this card. I love it. If there's anything, this whole thing is giving us a bunch of splashable, special summonable cards that don't require too much for it. All right, I digress. Outside of special summoning, -1 discard. If an Xyz monster is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon one zombie monster from your graveyard. During the standby phase of your next turn, after this card was banished, you can target one zombie Xyz monster you control, attach this banished card to it. Ooh. Alright, so I will put this in Chaos support just because I use Zombie Vampire. Or the Vampire. What's it called? It's the level 8 Xyz. Yeah, the Zombie Vampire. And boy, oh boy, I like having cards to discard and then dump more and more cards into the graveyard with. So for whatever reason, I can let that card survive. And this card provides me a little extra to work with. 50-50. I've been waiting to read this card for a minute because I hear that it's interesting. Take one monster and two traps from your deck. Reveal them. Your opponent randomly picks one, and you look at the remaining two to banish one trap from. Then your opponent chooses one of these effects for you to apply. Reveal the card picked by your opponent, and if it was a monster, add it to your hand or special summon it, or if it wasn't, banish it. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. Interesting. Interesting. Your opponent chooses one of these effects. Or reveal the card that was not picked by your opponent nor banished by you, and if it was a monster, add it to your hand, and if it wasn't, banish it. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. I'm gonna side that for a second because either way you're getting some play with it, and I think that, it's a gamble card. It is a big gamble card, but depending on how you play your cards, it could be great. I also heard about this once before, so I'm curious about what Northern Crossfire is about. If the total levels of monster you control are 10 or higher, add to your hand or special summon one level 10 monster from your hand or deck. Ooh. If the total levels of monsters your opponent controls are higher than 10, you can banish this card and one level 10 monster from your graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls and banish it. All right, that is cool. There's play that we can do with it. VIP Whale. This is like our... I just noticed this was a light monster. That means we might be able to use it. You can tribute additional monsters when you tribute summon this card face up. If this card is tribute summoned, you can place VIP counters on this card equal to the number of monsters tributed for its tribute summon. Also, your opponent activates a card or effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can remove one VIP counter from this card, toss a coin, and call it. If you call it right, negate the effect. If you call it wrong, this card's original attack becomes halved until the end of this turn. All right. Interesting utility card. I get it's all gambling. It's all gambling. It's a bunch of gamble cards. Holy crap. That's crazy. Dia Broken, the Ominous Spectre. Alright, I wonder if Dia Broken has anything to do with Diabell at some point. It's a Dia. Anyway, if this card's in your hand, quick effect, you can banish one fire monster from your face-up field or graveyard, special summon this card. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of the turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you can set one quick play spell or normal trap from your graveyard that was sent there this turn. Alright, this card definitely belongs in my chaos. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and of course most of my chaos cards are going to be light or dark, but there's always room for something else. Let's see. The live stream's still streaming, right? Oh, wonderful. Hey, what's up? We have viewers. People have been viewing. That's exciting. That's so exciting. Anyway, I digress. Alright, I've been wanting to read this one for a while. Alright, we never really got to it. So, 2 level 8 cards, generic, once per turn. You can also XE summon Dark Cerevian this fella. Oh, that's this card. I was like, oh, are we missing a card? No, it's this one. Once per turn, you can also XE summon this card by using one XE's monster you control and did not activate its effects in the monster zone this turn. Transferred materials. If this card is XE summoned, you can activate this effect. During the battle phase of this turn, XE monsters you control gain attack equal to their rank times 100. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material from this monster you control instead. Okay. It looks really cool, and I'm sure there's a good effect to having this attached to a card that hasn't used its material. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what it is. Hmm. 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 I'm sure there might be something. I just don't know what it is yet. Anyway, this guy, I've also been waiting. Two effect monsters, generic. Once, while this link summoned card is face up in the field, you can normal summon one level 5 or higher monster without tributing. During the main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Normal summon one level 5 or higher dark monster. During your end phase, you can reveal any number of monsters in your hand and place them at the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw cards equal to the number placed. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Why is this card way better than Dark Serum just in general? Like, that's such an awesome effect. I could definitely see myself using that card. The only problem is that I don't know if it has enough bang for the buck. And it would have to really, really, like, I would need to really control the deck for that to happen. Mind you, with with the zombie cards that I have, could be possible. Could be possible. Anyway, we have Checker. Cannot be normal summoned if you control a monster. Dang. You contribute summon this card. You contribute this card, special summon one machine monster from your deck whose attack equals its own defense, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, discard one card, special summon one Iron Rubble token. But it cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, or link summoning. Can, however, be used. No, it can't be used for Xyz. Interesting. Alright, this is okay. I don't hate it. There's some things. Bang for buck. Bang for buck. I think it could be used as, I guess I'll put this guy right here too. I don't see myself tributing a bunch of monsters. Although, now that I think about it, I don't know what the effects of the clowns are. But this might be good for the clowns. So I'm going to put this under the clowns since I know the clowns deal with a lot of tributing. Gaming Gamer GG. 2 level 4 monsters. Machine monsters. If this card is special summon, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to attack position. If your opponent has a monster in their field or graveyard, you can detach one material from this card, send one machine monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. Choose one machine Xyz monster in your graveyard. This card's name becomes that monster's name until the end phase. I don't know how that's useful. I don't know if I want to use this card, but it looks cool. So part of me is tempted to figure out how. However, I'm going to say that this is indefinitely the most unlikely card I'm going to use from what we're reading from right now. Then here we have 3 level 5 monsters. So we're not using this. I'm trying to think what deck has level 5 monsters like that. I don't know. My chaos deck, I mean... Ugh, excuse my yawning. Let's read the card for real. There might be some cards I can use. Let's see. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. It looks cool. Once per turn, you can also Xyz this card by using one Doomsay's Xyz monster you control, transfer its material. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can detach one material from this card, add one Doomsday spell or trap from your deck to your hand, then you can destroy one card on the field. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon one non-Xyz Doomsay's monster. Alright, this is cool, and I like it. I just can't use it at all. I digress. We move forward. Now it's time to understand the clown. Understand how the clown crew works. By first talking about the clown himself, Bianca Viso. 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 Bian Okay, he is an illusion monster. Alright? Illusion. You contribute summon this card by tributing one Ritual Fusion Synchro Xyz Pendulum or Link monster. If this card is tributed summon, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. If this is tribute summon, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. I have 2 of these cards, which means I can use both of them. Draw cards equal to the number of monsters tributed. Okay. Interesting. You can tribute summon this face-up card by tributing one. If this card is tributed summon, you can activate one of these effects. Draw cards equal to the number of monsters tributed. Okay, so I guess the only thing I can think of is that because it's a level 7, which are, listen, I'm just saying, level 7, level 7, level 7. Is there a comeback? Are we going to get a comeback? I don't know. I'm just gonna plop this right here, just because it looks nice. You can either draw cards equal to the number of cards monsters tributed, or negate the effects of face-up cards your opponent controls equal to the number of monsters tributed. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon one monster. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay, so this card has a level of resourcefulness. You can obviously tribute summon on your opponent's turn, which is super exciting. It's just that I was a little confused because in my mind when I saw the tribute summon, I was like, does that mean you can control the amount of cards you contribute to summon this card? Because you can with the freaking shark dude. But that's okay, I guess. I don't know. The second effect, the last effect, is pretty cool. All right, so we have our ritual monster, Clown Crew Flare. You can ritual summon this with a Clown Crew card. Reveal this card in your hand. Add one Clown Crew card from your deck to your hand, except a ritual monster, then discard one card. You can only use the effect. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. If this card is tributed, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of these effects once per turn. Shuffle all ritual monsters from the field and graveyards into the deck. Depending on the deck you're going against, that could be a really big deal. Change one effect monster on the field to face down defense position. Okay. Ooh, little head scratch for the road. That's nice. Ooh. Love that. All right, so these two together make it really difficult for certain decks to operate. Or you just generically bring your cards back. I don't know. Obviously, it's a powerful effect. I like the effect. I wonder if all the other ones follow suit. Yeah. Return all fusion monsters from the field, the graveyards to the extra deck. If this tribute summon attacks defense, inflict double piercing damage. We love piercing damage, except that this is 200 attack. Huh? If this tribute summon, you could activate one of the effects. Set Crown Clue Trap. Return all fusion monsters from the field and graveyards to the extra deck. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, here's a trap that it could set. Activate one of these effects. You can only use the effects of this card once per turn. Also, until the end of the next turn, after this card's resolved, you cannot activate the effects of monster special summon from the deck or extra deck. What? Activate one of these effects. You can only use each once per turn. Also, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summoned from the deck or extra deck. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Special summon up to 2 Clown Crew monsters from your deck or extra deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. Add 1 Clown Crew monster from your deck to your hand. During the main phase, you can banish summon this card, or banish this card from the graveyard immediately after this effect resolves. Tribute summon 1 Clown Crew face-up monster. Okay, all right. I think I see the value in this card because it sets you up to essentially have 2 cards that are very similar to these two. All right, maybe not this guy. I think this might need a little extra love. Or actually, it says ignoring the summoning requirements. So you can get these 2 out. So if you're going up against a certain kind of deck, you can really just, like, take them out in a way. And then we have this card right here. Special summon up to 2 Clown Crew monsters from your deck or extra deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. Also, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, same thing. You cannot activate the effects monster during the main phase. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card. Tribute 1 monster from your hand or field. Wait, what? You can tribute 1 monster from your hand or field, then target 1 card on the field, return it to the hand. Okay. Interesting. And that's a quick play. And then here's the whale, who I suppose in this deck actually can do some damage. All right, let me check real quick. Okay, let me see, because we had a synchro, we have an Xyz. Here's the Xyz. Here's a continuous. I know what I'm looking at now. I know what I'm looking at. Huh? Right. Just put that on top of all this. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to land the plane with this, of course. Of course. I'd like to talk about that as well. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So here, I assume, yep, synchro monsters from field and graveyards. And then return all Xyz monsters. Okay, so these all have similar effects. So I'm assuming how it would work is that ideally you're going to have this card in your hand or something like that. Probably this might not even be too bad either. You freaking activate this guy and maybe this guy at the same time, although you probably want to end up setting this guy, and then you could literally just like freaking wipe them. And depending on, you know, of course, the progression of the things that you do, depending on how people may or may not, you know, attribute or react to them, you can cause some interesting damage. Interesting. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the way that this deck plays, but I'm starting to kind of like understand like what it can do. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Clown Crew. Sorry. You can special summon 1 Clown Crew monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Also, until the end of the next turn, the effect resolves. You cannot activate the effects of monsters special summoned from the deck or extra deck. During the end phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of different card types of monsters tributed this turn. Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, Link. You can set 1 spell or trap from your hand. Then you can... Okay. Ooh. Okay. So I guess the big question with this deck is how you're gonna how you're gonna get these extra deck monsters out there, and how you're gonna deal with the fact that for 2 turns you're stuck with tribute summoning. Part of me is wondering, can we make some god cards with this? I'm actually really curious to see how this would work with Dark Magician. So I'm gonna put it there for now, because I think it's kind of interesting. I think there might be something here. I know I keep being up here or whatever. Let me see. Can I lower myself? No, that's it. All right, but I digress. We are. The stream's getting long, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to try to land the plane. We have some Predaplant stuff here. Heck of hands. We've seen some evolved. I am interested in what these pendulums do. So we'll put evolved right over here. The dragon deck isn't terrible. It's just that I am still missing cards to making it viable. So I guess let's just see any last generic card that I got that I want to go over. It looks like this is the last one. And it's Illusion. All right. Fleeting Phantom Mask Master. Mask Master. Illusion. If this card battles, neither card is destroyed by battle. Often illusion effects tend to go that way. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one Fiend, Illusion, or Spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay. Then you can make this card's type become the original type of the sent monster. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish summon. You can banish summon. Banish one spell. Sorry, I saw spell original type. You can banish one spell from your graveyard, special summon this card. You can only use this effect once per duel, and its preview effect once per turn. Okay. So this has some versatility, and unironically enough, it works somewhere between. This is kind of like where I'm seeing these cards playing out a little bit. I don't know if Dark Magician's gonna happen. This might just be a Charmer thing, and I'm kind of curious to see how Clown Crew could work with Charmers quite potentially right here. We're gonna go over that pretty shortly, because I believe Fairy Tale is gonna work with the Charmers a bit as well, but we're also just gonna go over some of the other things we have real quick. We'll go over these archetypes, and then we'll land it with the wizards. With the lizards, with the fairies, with the Charmers. That's the one. All right, GMX lab number 5. Is there more labs? Number 5. Your opponent cannot activate effects, cards, or effects when you normal summon or special summon GMX monsters. During your main phase, you can set one GMX spell from your deck, except lab number 5. Then place one card from your hand to the top of the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. All right, so interesting. We have something here. All right, so this is a healthy field spell. All right, I think protecting your cards once they hit or special summon on the field is pretty great. I think that's like a really healthy thing that you can try to work around based on what happens, and then it allows you to set one spell or trap from your deck. All right. Obviously, if you're going first, it might not be bad to get a trap on the field, but it can get you a spell, and you can use it. But then you got to place one card from your hand at the top of the deck. But based on how GMX works, so the one thing that I gathered from the GMX cards is that they're really specifically good at they specify in excavating cards from the top of your deck to activate their effects. So if you have a card in your hand that you want excavated, you can control that. So there's a little bit of control with this. And then we have GMX 55th Experiment Report. It almost makes me want this to have freaking, dangers attached to it. It looks cool. I prefer dangers, things that might have dinosaurs in them, to like an actual dinosaur deck. I'm not a big fan. I'm not Rex Raptor, okay? Even though Rex technically gave us the red eyes, which is amazing. But anyway, fusion summon one dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. If your opponent controls a monster, you can also use one GMX monster in your deck as material. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, excavate, there you go, the top cards of your deck until you excavate a GMX card. Add that GMX card to your hand, also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only use one GMX 55th experiment effect per turn and only once that turn. So it is fair. It's not going to let you do multiple things, but you can use it as a quick effect and freaking get some play. We enjoy that. Here is a potential trap card for you to set. Activate only if you control a GMX monster once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, except during the damage step, you can excavate top 5 cards of your deck. Then if you excavated a GMX card, negate the activation effect. Also place all excavated cards on top or bottom of the deck in any order. Again, controlling the flow of play. I think I appreciate that. I appreciate a deck that has a level of control in it that is flexible. You know? It's not like rude or anything like that. I mean, it's like if you could control the top of your opponent's deck, that would be a little crazy because it'd be like, okay, I'm just going to get like a dead card or whatever. But, you know, with them in particular, you know, you get to control your own deck, which could have certain synergies with Chaos. But the problem is that I don't have enough dinosaur cards. I don't know if I have any dinosaur cards. Let me take a look real quick. Psychic Thunder, Thunder, Dragon, Psychic Thunder, Beast, Thunder, Reptile. You see, it's tough when you got like Reptile and you're like, why can't all dinosaur cards just be Reptile? But then you'd need to make a subclass like Archfiend, Archfiends, via just Fiends. We have any dragons? Oh, I'm sorry that I yawned. I don't want to make you feel this way. Ooh. And we are, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, not running any dinosaurs in my deck at all. It will not work for Chaos, but if we have enough of them, it can work for them. And I will comfortably put GMX right here because we did get a heck of a lot of cards from them. So, speaking of a heck of hands, I still don't know what this one's about. 2 heck of hands monsters. You can target one monster your opponent controls. Take control of it. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. Your heck of hands fusion monsters and monsters you control that are owned by your opponent can attack directly. Get the handwork going on. Let me, real quick, let me just, because I have more. I have a decent amount more of these cards. I just don't know where they went. I don't know where any of them went because apparently we are. It takes 2 sets of Yu-Gi-Oh to make a deck. All right, it takes 2 whole sets. Some people are probably looking at me like, yeah, welcome to our world, freaking derp hole. Which case, I'm gonna say this really rude thing to say. I don't know why you would say that to me. Take it back, jerk. I just like I'm thoroughly not excited about how. Ooh, I want to talk about this card real quick. I apparently have a level 10 Xyz monster that we can just freaking splash. Let's see. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. All the interesting cards have to be just one. You can't have like some basic interesting card. I'm learning. All right, I'm learning. All right, here's some other Heck of Hands. So you got Heck of Hands Bruce. This feels like, I guess these two, both of these could be like mains, although this is probably like a main guy, but this also feels like. All right, if this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. You can only use the following effects once per turn. If a card is added to your opponent's hand, you can special summon this card from your hand. Interesting. During your main phase, you can look at one random card in your opponent's hand, and if it's a monster, you can special summon it to the field. Dude, that's a chaos, bro. That's sick. Such an easy way to get it out on the field. What level are you? Level 7? Dude, this is a splashable card. This is such a splashable card. I love that. All right, yeah, no, that belongs right there. I don't care about the rest of them. Maybe I'll bring them anyway, but that's crazy. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. You can only once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand. Fusion summon one Heck of Hands fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including this card from your hand. If an illusion fusion monster is sent to the graveyard while this is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. Okay, so there we're just putting those there. We're putting those there. Now, mind you, we're going to need something to get these illusion cards in our hand. There's something to do about that. There's something there. You contribute one Heck of Hands monster or one monster you control that is owned by your opponent. Take control of one monster your opponent controls. You can only use this effect once per turn during the end phase. Once per turn during your end phase, send one card you control to the graveyard. Okay. Interesting. All right. That feels healthy. I'm going to put those there with Chaos, genuinely, because I think that even if we can't use it, it's something that we can play with a little bit. Which is what I'm kind of interested with when it comes to some of these other ones. So you can see it's pendulum time, baby. We have pendulum monsters to talk about. I think that these are not the same archetype. I don't think they are, but we're going to talk about it because it's here. Trito Inicreft Exapataka. Each time a monster is flipped face up, place one counter on this card. You can pay 900 life points, reveal 3 Inicraft cards from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand. Shuffle the rest into the deck. All right, if this is flipped, all right, we got a bunch of these flip cards. Is this going to work? If this works with the Charmers, I'm going to be a little mad, but I'm not going to be pissed. Destroy one face. If this is flipped, destroy one spell, trap your opponent controls, and if you do, special summon one monster from your hand in face down defense position. Okay, that's pretty sick. But it says, and if you do, which means that you ultimately have to destroy a card on their field, or else it doesn't work. So that's the thing. When your opponent activates a card or effect that includes an effect that sets a card, quick effect, you can change this face down or face up defense position. Okay. Add one Inicraft card from your hand deck to your hand. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon one monster from your hand in face down defense position. You cannot special summon the turn you activated this except in face down defense. That's kind of healthy. All right. Don't tell me we got to make a Mimi Gold deck. That's not what I want for my life, dude. I have aspirations. I have goals. I want to have children one day. This isn't fair. This isn't what I want in my life. Okay. Yeah, we're going back and forth between my phone and a charger. Ooh-wee. Ugh. Where'd you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Cotton Joe. Ha ha. I need drink. I need drink because mouth is thirsty. Mouth is thirsty, and I'm tired. Woo! I did not expect this to go so long, but I digress. We press on. Ooh. All right. Place one Iniopolis from your deck or graveyard face up in a field zone. Or if you control an Iniopolis, you can negate the effects of face up cards your opponent controls up to the number of cards in your pendulum zones instead. Okay. Sorry, I just had to process everything. If your opponent activates a card or effect while this is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, change any craft monsters you control to face down defense position up to the number of cards in your pendulum zones. It's an interesting resource thing. A pendulum deck surrounded by flip summoning is an interesting mechanic. I can't be mad about that. All right, here's this big behemoth of a card. All right, it's pendulum effects. This is Vidolium, the unstable power patron of unity. Not gonna lie, it's pretty sick. I kind of like the idea that sometimes these pendulum monsters just don't care anymore. They're just like, yeah, we're totally about to just be like, whatever it's called. Ugh. Anyway, you can activate these effects. Destroy this card if you do special summon one power patron monster from your hand or graveyard. Destroy this card. For the rest of this turn, power patron monsters you control whose original level is 12 gain 500,000 God, 5,000 attack. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, interesting. All right. For a second, I thought, whoa, we're going to be able to special summon itself, especially since we got two of these bad boys, and then 5,000? Crazy. All right. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your deck or from your extra deck or graveyard. Interesting. Didn't realize that. Ooh, wait, there's more. There's more. Hold on. Must be special summoned from your deck, from your extra deck or graveyard by returning 3 monsters, 1 fusion, synchro, and Xyz from your face-up field and or graveyard to the extra deck. Unaffected by monster effects, except power patron monsters. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add 1 power patron card from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. If this is special summon, banish face down all cards in the graveyards. And it's dark. Oof. Here's the thing. I might actually be able to use this card. Never in my life. I might actually be able to use this card. We're going to find out, though. But right now, tentatively, it's somewhere between the Clown Crew and our Chaos cards. I'm just saying. There's potential in this place tonight, Lord. There's potential. I'm going to just leave it here for a second. All right. Jupredo, the Shade Machine. Oh, Shade Machine Power Patron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Oh, so this is level 1. Level 11. Okay. During your main phase, you can destroy this card and 1 power patron or Doom Z monster in your hand or face up on the field. You can destroy 1 card on the field. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. So you have to destroy this. Destroy this and 1 power patron or Doom Z monster in your hand or face up on the field. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. A little basic, but it's a big cost for something that might not be great. A good thing is that you destroy, you don't target. This card is also treated as a Doom Z card. You can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon one Jupiter, the Patron of Destruction. We don't have Jupiter. We have Jupredo. Alright, Jupredo, not Jupiter, Jupredo. Alright? Then you attach one card from your hand to it. If this card is added... Sorry, I just had to make sure. I was like, wait, this isn't the one. It is not the one. It is very unfortunately not the one. Alright? Alright, anyway, I digress. The paragraph. If this card is added to your extra deck, face up, you can add one Power Patron or Doomsday spell trap from your deck to a hand. Okay? Not terrible. Not terrible. Let's see what the Shade one's about. Of Obscure. You cannot Pendulum Summon except Pendulum monsters. This effect cannot be negated. If a monster with a 1000 attack or less is special summoned except during the damage step, you can return this card to the hand. Interesting. Okay. Okay. At least it limits pendulum summoning to pendulum monsters. It could be a lot worse. Could limit everything. This is level 4. If you have a card in your pendulum zone and this is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can pay 1000 life point, destroy one pendulum monster in your hand or face up on the field. Then you can add one pendulum monster from your deck to your face up extra deck. God, these are interesting. All right, I'm going to put these to the side for now. I think that there's potential that I would like to really tap into. It's just there's too much and not enough at the same time. All right, if there's like a good cards I would have loved support from that at this rate they could have just made common is like Doom Z cards. Like if they had more Doom Z cards. But no, we have Predaplants, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right. First, let's go over the Synchro. Predaplant Balte. Plant Synchro Tuner. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner. Sorry, Cool Tunes. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon 1 Predaplant or Starving Venom monster from your face-up extra deck or graveyard. Okay. Okay, that's some synergy here. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can banish 1 Polymerization and this card from your graveyard, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. I think it's cool. I think it's really good. I think it's a lot of fun. Plus, what's great is that you can activate this effect in your graveyard, which I think is fantastic. So you can use it as an extender, and you can special summon. You can get more cards on the field. Use it as a tuner, and then just do more with it. So it's great. Now it's time for Lil Izzard. We've been seeing this card from the jump. Let's see what we're about. If you control a Predaplant, Starving Venom monster, this card's in your hand. You can special summon this card, and then you can add 1 Polymerization from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 face-up monster on the field. It becomes dark until the end of this turn. And, if this card is special summoned from your graveyard, you can draw 1 card. I see the synergy. I see the synergy. Is this a 1? It's a 1! Alright, we have the whole thing right here. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Predup card from your deck to your hand, except this one. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then activate one of these effects. Place 1 Predaplanter on 1 face-up monster on the field, and if you do, any of those monsters become level that are level 2 or higher become level 1 as long as they have a Predaplant counter. That means that we're going to put that 1 Predaplant fusion monster in whatever deck we put this one in. Or you can set Polymerization from graveyard to banishment. And now it's time for our super shiny one. Send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard. Add one polymerization spell or fusion spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except for plant or dragon monsters. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one fusion monster you control, destroy it. And there are reasons why that's important. I just don't know yet. These cards are great. I want to use them. I just don't know how, so I'm going to put it right here. But unlike you guys, it's somewhat usable and splashable. All right, now it's time for the final countdown. We've done all of this work to get to this point. We have like 2 cards for Red Dragon. We have 2 cards for Cool Tune. But for some reason, we got a whole lot of cards for Fairy Tale, and by proxy, potentially, Charmers. But let's see what it's about. All right, so we went over the Charmers last night, but just to recap, this takes 2 monsters, but it is a level 4 synchro, so at least 2 Link 2s. Gains 300 attack for each different attribute on the field once per turn. While this is face up on the field during the main phase, quick effect, you can target 2 monsters in your graveyard with the same attribute but different types, or with the same type but different attributes. Special summon both. Special summon both. Also, until the end of the next turn, this card and the special summoned cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link summons, which means that you have to be very cautious. What I'm thinking with a card like this, what makes it so good is that you can get them to your field, and even though you can't use them to extend plays, you can use the effects of the card. So whatever those cards are that you're special summoning, I mean, those are 2 special summons. So there's potential with this. All right, but I digress. That's a pretty epic thing from our girls here. So let's dump our doubles. Bye. See you next time. Sorry, not the cards. All right, Weaver of Fairy Tales. This is the person creating the fairy tales. Is Snow here? Oh, I miss Snow. Maybe that's her. I don't know. 1 fairy tale monster and 1 spellcaster monster. Hence, the connect. All Prince of Fairies on the field. Wait, what? All Prince of Fairies on the field become spellcaster monsters. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 fairy tale monster from your deck or banishment. You can only use the effect of Weaver of Fairy Tales once per turn. If you normal or special summon a non-earth fairy tale monster, while this card is face up in the monster zone, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect. Also, it becomes Prince of Fairies. Interesting. All right. Fairy Tale Giru. All right, this is a non-earth. It is light. If a spellcaster monster with 1850 original attack is on the field, 1850 original attack is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except spellcaster monsters. If this card is normal special summon, you can add 1 fairy tale spell trap or fairy tale tales from your deck to your hand. You can pay 500 life points. The name of 1 effect monster your opponent controls becomes Prince of Fairies. You can only use each effect once per turn. All right, not bad. Obviously, it limits you to spellcasters, but shouldn't be a problem if that's your whole freaking deck. You can special summon up to 1 fairy tale monster each from your hand, graveyard, and banishment with different names. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for special spellcasters. If this card is banished or sent to the graveyard except from the field, you can set this card but it cannot be activated unless you control a fairy tale monster. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so a little bit of synergy. The equipped monster gains 1,000 attack. Also once per turn during your main phase, you can fusion summon one spellcaster fusion monster from your extract using monster from your hand, field, and or Prince of Fairies your opponent controls as materials. Ooh, interesting. If this card is in your graveyard, you can equip this card to one fairy tale monster on the field. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one spellcaster monster. With 1850, you can only use each effect once per turn. All right, that's really great. That's actually not bad at all, except because they're equips, and I don't think that they're supported. Yeah, I don't think that this one gets itself out of the graveyard. You got to be cautious. Whatever you're linking it to, better stay. When this card is activated, you can add one fairy tale monster or fairy tale tales from your deck or banishment to your hand. Oh, this is a field spell. The ball. Fairy tale ball. Who we got there? We got like Cinderella? No, that's Cinderella. She's got the glass shoes. But she looks timid. Who are you? Who are these people? I don't know these fairy tales. I just want Snow back. Snow. Snow's in the back. I want you back. Please, unban it. That helps with chaos. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster and you control a fairy tale monster, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects. Also, it becomes Prince of Fairies. And then we have another Weeva, Believer, and then the Xyz, Witcat. 2 level 4 spellcaster monsters. Each fairy tale monster you control whose original attribute is light is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can detach up to 2 materials from this card. Send fairy tale cards from your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of detached. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one fairy tale monster you control whose original attribute is light, special summon this card, and if you do, send that monster to the graveyard. Dang. Bringing them down. Okay. After everything has been said and done, all right? After everything has been said and done, the truth is that we are between some decks right now. I am coming to the end of both my phone and my laptop's life. So I'm thinking it's time to land the plane on this. Let's see. Me. All right. Oh. That's a lot of cards. I don't know how people do this. All right, we got some cards that I'm not mad about, but to be honest with you, I'm probably just going to go for singles from now on. This is crazy, though, man. Freaking $200, and I feel like I definitely got some cards, but, like, nothing life-changing. And I think that needs to change, Konami. Like, literally, even if you just had, like, a more diverse array of specific cards, a healthy level of generic, maybe some stuff supports some other stuff, you know, but at the very least for like the cards that you're coming to this set for, you know, you got to trickle that down a little bit more. Maybe you need like a soft medium between just one special card and like, you know, all these, there's so much fodder. So many of these cards are just going to be sent away or thrown away. You know what I mean? Like that's difficult as a very practical thing. That sucks. That really sucks. And I was expecting a little bit more. Some of the cards here were very interesting though. I can't be mad about that. And I'm very curious to see what we can do with that. But for the time being, this is Blazing Dominion. I was hoping to get a Crimson King. I was hoping to at least get a Dominance. I mean, I understood that like the hand trap card was gonna, you know,